and welcome to episode 92, I believe, of the Graceful Tangle podcast. I'm Amy Kate. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any future content. Also, be sure to check out all of the links in the description box below because there are so many good things down there. You can find the links to the show notes for this episode, which are located over on my blog. Some links to some specific things I'm going to be talking about today, social media platforms, pattern shops, make-along information. I'm hosting a Dishcloth Make-A-Long all year long, and we have a Facebook group for that, which has been so much fun already. So yeah, lots of things going on down there. Be sure to check out that resource. I'm super excited to be back with you guys this week with another podcast episode. It is Sunday, February 13th. So tomorrow is Valentine's Day for me. This will go up the Tuesday after, so this will be the 15th possibly for you guys. But I hope that you have had a good Valentine's week if you choose to celebrate. But yeah, it is a beautiful day here in Alabama. It is cold. The weather cannot make up its mind per usual. Yesterday it was like approaching 70, I think. I know it was on Friday. And then today, Sunday, it's like 46 or something. But it's very sunny, which is nice. Anyways, lots of things to chat about this week, including a few finished objects, a couple of works in progress, and then I have started a new design this week, which is really exciting. So let's go ahead and hop right into the content this week with a few finished objects. Okay, so I have 3 finished objects this week, but actually only one with me. So I'm going to show you the one that I can actually show you in person first, and then we'll talk about the other 2. So these are the double-stranded Candy Mountain Socks. This is a pattern by Julie of Twin Stitches Designs. I could not recommend it more. This pattern is so fun. The color work is like the perfect blend between, like, I mean, it's not really challenging, but if you're a beginner to color work, then it might be a little bit challenging. So it's kind of the perfect blend between that, but then also intuitive. So it's really easy to tell, like, where you are in the color work chart and things like that. And there's plenty of just, like, stockinette knitting with either, you know, one of the contrast colors or the main color as well, which I personally love. I really like the blend of, you know, exciting, challenging, and then just plain and mindless. It's kind of my favorite blend, but anyway, so that's what this pattern is like. I love it. Like I said, I couldn't recommend it more. It's just such a great pattern. I really like all of the patterns in her Candy Mountain collection. I made the original ones last year. It was one of my socks that I did for like the month. I don't remember what month it was. I think it was like maybe April, maybe? I think that might be right. But anyways, such a great pattern. I had so much fun making these. So here is my finished pair. They turned out so good. Yeah, and they are so cozy. They fit perfectly. I've actually already worn them, and I got some pictures and posted on Instagram. So hopefully there is no visible dirt or anything like that. But yeah, I just love them so much. So I used Knit Picks Stroll Tweed Held Double. Well, Stroll Tweed is the contrast colors, and the main color is just Stroll in Ash, I believe. Again, all held double, so it's like a worsted weight. You use a size 5 needle, and they're just really slouchy, cute, cozy, thick socks. I am obsessed with them. I also did her German short row heel, which is included in the pattern, and I really enjoyed it. I'm having fun with German short row heels. I haven't done a ton. I mean, it's definitely something that I want to get better at, just to be able to, you know, be a better sock designer myself, but then also to have multiple heels to choose from, like in my personal sock knitting arsenal. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun to kind of investigate or try out other heels, I suppose. But yeah, so that is my first finished object. I love them. They turned out so great, and like I said, they were so much fun to knit. Okay, my other 2 finished objects, I made 2 Thankful Beanies, which is a pattern that I designed and released last Thanksgiving. It's a really simple cabled beanie. I love the cables that are in that pattern because you can do them very easily without a cable needle, which I love because cable needles, I don't enjoy using them very much. I can, and I'm very capable of it, but I don't know, it's just kind of a lot to finagle around, I guess. So anyway, that pattern features 1x1 cables, which you don't have to have a cable needle for. Super fun, super intuitive. I'll link the pattern down below if you want to check it out, but I made 2 for the 2 sweet little girls that I babysit multiple days throughout the week. I made a pink one and like a bluish pink one for them, and I gave them to them. I finished them up earlier this week and then gave them to I think on Wednesday maybe, and they loved them. It was so sweet. So I don't have them to show obviously, but I do have some pictures, so I will insert those in just a second, and then we'll go ahead and hop into works in progress, because that is all of the FOs that I have for this week. So check out those pictures, and then we will hop into whips. Okay, I am currently working on 3 main projects. One of them is my brother's socks for his birthday. His birthday is March 3rd, so it is quickly approaching. And I started them like a ridiculously long time ago. It was like 1 or 2 weeks ago now. And I have the cuff finished, but I'm not going to show them this week. I'm just going to like power through them throughout this week, and then I will show them next week for the next episode. It's been a crazy week. I have struggled a little bit to actually find time to create, which has been kind of hard. It was just a little bit of an overwhelming week. We'll leave it at that for now. But the point is, I'm definitely still working on those. I actually did make a little bit of progress this week, but I'm going to hold off on sharing them until I have some more progress to share, I guess. But I am working on 2 big things, and I've made a good bit of progress on both of them. Okay, so the first thing, this is going to look ridiculous right now, but I promise I think it's going to turn out okay. So this is the project that I am making with my Knit Crate yarn for the month. So over the course of this year, I'm going to be unboxing a Knit Crate and sharing my previous month's project in a special video every single month. It's going to be super fun. I actually will be releasing February's unboxing in a couple of weeks. So I'm really excited about that. It has already been so much fun. And for January, I am making a hooded cowl. Now, I mentioned last week that I'm going to be giving a lot more details about this project in that Knit Crate video, because I don't want it to seem like I'm repeating myself or anything, like just with the podcast and with that video. So I'll just give the basics here. But this is going to be a crochet hooded cowl, and this week I finally finished the hood. So here's what it looks like. Basically, your head, I'm not going to put it on right now because I have a bun and I would like to not completely mess it up, but this is the hood. Basically, you just put it over your head, and then it's eventually going to have a cowl that goes around the entire base of it. So it'll be like a cowl and a hood combined, which is super cool. This is not really something that I myself will end up wearing, I don't think. But, and yes, I realize this is going to sound very silly. I think it's going to be a great thing to kind of save for like future kids or for a future gift or something. Because I think for that age, like for a young child, it would be such a cool idea. So yeah. It's been fun to work on this. It's taken a while. Like, it's not hard at all. It just takes a long time to actually make it. But yeah, it's really pretty gray yarn. I love it. I'm really enjoying using this yarn. So yeah, there's my first whip. Again, lots more talk, I guess, and details will be shared in that Knit Crate video coming later this month. So stay tuned for that. Okay, my next work in progress, my last one for this week, is the biggie. So this is my Seasons Change sweater, which is a pattern that I am making, or a project that I'm making for Caitlin over at Originally Lovely Yarn. I am a sample maker for her currently, and I'm making this project. It's going really great. I made a whole lot of progress this week. I am kind of figuring out just a couple little kinks here and there just on how to modify the pattern a little bit to fit her better. She's a lot taller than me. She is 6 feet tall and I am 5'1". So obviously there's a large height difference there, which is totally fine, but I'm trying to figure out how to make it to where it fits her really well. And I am not really familiar with that. Like if I make clothes or sweaters or things like that, is typically for me and not for other people. So it's just been a little bit tricky and taken some brain power to kind of figure all of that out. But all of that said, the pattern is written in such a way that it is super easy to modify. Like literally the hardest part about it has just been figuring out yardage. I actually ran out of one of the colors and I had to get Caitlin to send me some more, which, you know, added a few days of making time because I couldn't work on it until that yarn came. Anyway, just kind of dragged on, I guess. But needless to say, I have made a lot of progress and I am finally to the point where I know exactly what modifications I'm doing. It's just a matter of finishing up the project, which is such a good place to be in at the start of a new week. Like, I'm really excited. My goal is to work on it throughout this week and then ship it to Caitlin a week from today. So that would be Monday. I have no idea what the date is. The 21st, actually. I think that's right. I have an appointment the next day. So I'm pretty sure it's February 21st is the next Monday. But that's my goal. I want to show it one more time as a finished object for the podcast and get some pictures of it because it's such a beautiful sweater, and then I will ship it off. So that is the plan. But let me go ahead and share this project. So this is one of the sleeves. I think the lighting is going to change a good bit as I show this project. I apologize for that. This yarn is a high contrast apparently to the background and everything else. So, yeah, sorry if it gets a little bit darker. I'm not sure if it'll be noticeable or not. Okay, anyway, so here's one sleeve. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the second one. Here is the second. So, these sleeves are currently worked exactly how the pattern says. However, after doing some measuring, I'm going to add a couple more repeats of this solid section up at the top. So right now there's no yarn attached to these. There will be. I'm going to add a little bit more length to both of them. The overall design of this sweater is to be really oversized all over, cropped body, and then like long sleeves. So I'm hoping that all of that works out for Caitlin. That's my job. It doesn't have to fit up perfectly. It's more of a sample, but I still, you know, want to get it as close to perfect as possible. So anyway, here are the sleeves. I have a little bit more work to do on both of them, obviously, but like I said, I know exactly what I'm doing. I am like so much better right now than I was yesterday trying to figure all of this out. So there's both sleeves. And then this is the front panel, and it is completely done, which is super exciting. I did the shoulder shaping for the front, which looks like this a little bit, once we got back from home from church this morning. So I'm really happy that that is done. And yeah, it looks so cool. So that's the front. And then the back, I still have quite a bit of work to do. I just finished all of the color repeats, and I do have yarn attached. So I'm going to try not to pull out all of those stitches. Make that look bigger. There we go. Okay, so here's what it looks like right now. So I have finished all of the repeats, color repeats, and now I am just ready to work in the entire solid section, just like I did for the front panel. So that's kind of where I'm at. Front panel is completely done. I'm going to add a little bit more to each sleeve, and that's going to be the next thing that I get done. And then I will just focus on the back panel. So it's going great, and I am so thankful for that. Here's my original swatch if you want to see kind of close up how all of the colors look together. It's such a cool palette. I love the way that it looks, and of course this pattern is amazing. Again, it's the Seasons Change sweater if you want to check it out. But yeah, I think it is such a pretty pattern. And then the yarn that I am using is originally Lovely Pura in multiple colors. This is the natural right here. This is a DK weight, 50 grams or 136 yards per ball. 100% superfine merino wool. I am loving using this yarn. It is so soft and plump. It is a loose spin, but I have not had many issues with splitting at all. Usually if the yarn does split, it's just because I'm not paying attention to it and it, you know, slips through my hook and I don't realize it or whatever, but it's going so great. I'm obsessed with Pura. Like, it is just so beautiful and fun to use. So I'm having a lot of fun with this project. It has just been absolutely amazing to, one, be a part of the little community of originally lovely sample makers there are right now. There's quite a few. But then also just to be in just email communication with Caitlin has just been so great. She is one of the sweetest people ever, and I am so excited for her and this new adventure of hers. It's going to be amazing. So, yes, that is that project and my last work in progress. I am honestly itching to get this done because I have so many other sweaters that I want to make. I have one sweater in my mind that I want to start soon. I'm going to be making another sample of the Comfort Pullover, which is a pattern that I recently released. And then I also have 2 big blanket ideas that I really want to get started on. And then last night I had another garment idea that I am pumped about. So I have lots of things that I want to make, but I'm trying to get some of these, big things done first so that, I don't let them fall to the wayside since they are commitments that I need to uphold, of course. But anyways, so that is it for works in progress. And now I do have a couple of new designs that I would like to talk about. And I'm really excited about both of them. They are both really exciting and both a long time coming, I think. So let's go ahead and chat about those for a few minutes. So one thing that I do want to mention before I hop into some designs that I am currently working on, I just released the Sprinkle Socks pattern, so I hope that you have checked it out. I hope that you love them. I love these socks and this pattern so much. I'm itching to cast on a second pair for myself. For this pair, I used Knit Picks Felici and Stroll, but I have some hand-dyed in my stash that I just really, really want to use for this pattern. So I'm hoping to do that soon, again, once I finish a couple of other things. But this pattern is now available in my Ravelry shop on Etsy, and it's free on my blog. I am kind of trying to provide a free version of most of my patterns going forward on the blog for free. So I want to just be able to share patterns with as many makers as I can, and that's kind of the best way that I have found to do that. So anyways, I hope that you enjoy that pattern in whatever digital format you see fit. And then later this week, I'm going to be releasing the worsted weight version, which looks like this. These are a little bit hard to show because they're thicker, so they tend to hold their shape a little better. But here's what they look like. These are, like I said, worsted weight, so I use Stroll Held Double for the contrast heels, toes, and cuffs, and then Felici worsted for the main portion of the sock. And it's the same little color work detail that are in the original Sprinkle socks, but it's just a worsted weight version, so it has different numbers, different instructions for, of course, the heel and things like that. But yeah, these are going to be coming later this week. Definitely stay tuned for that. I am really excited to release this pattern, and I hope that you guys are excited to make them. They are super quick. I love worsted weight socks so much. Okay, moving on. I am working on 2 designs currently. One of them is actually almost done, and this is going to come out very soon. So this is the Knobbly Beanie. I designed the Knobbly socks last year, and I have been itching to create a beanie pattern, and I finally did it, and I think it is so cute. It's white and textured. I'm going to be adding a pom-pom to the top of it, but I haven't done that quite yet, obviously. And yeah, I just love how this turned out so much. This is Knit Picks High Desert in the colorway Bear, so it's undyed, natural. I think it is so gorgeous. It's like the prettiest creamy white color. It actually looks really good with what I'm wearing right now, which is kind of cool. So anyways, I love this hat, and I'm really excited to get this pattern off to you guys. Like I said, it's going to be releasing very soon, so stay tuned for that. I don't have a set date yet, but I will figure that out very soon, and then I will let you guys know. And then one more design that I am currently working on is a new cowl. So I talked about this earlier this month, how I am participating in the Hobie Love Fest challenge over on Instagram. The idea is just to create a project that uses, pinks and purples and those kind of colors And I am designing a new cowl. So I'm using Hobie Dahlia Mixo, which is a 100% cotton number 2, which is like a sport and penguin weight yarn. It looks like this, and the cake is getting a little bit squishy, which is exciting. It means I'm making progress. And here is my project. So I'm actually not entirely sure if this is going to be a cowl yet or a wrap. I haven't fully decided. It kind of depends on how long I end up making it. But here is what the stitch pattern looks like. This is very similar to the Nutcracker cowl, which is a pattern that I designed late last year. But it's a little bit different, and I think it's kind of like a step up in level. And it is so much fun. I am having a blast working on this project. This yarn is absolutely amazing. It's just like really pretty, lacy. Oh, I love it so much. It's going to be the perfect little addition for your spring and summer wardrobe. I think it's going to look really pretty, like all draped up in cowl form too. I am really excited about this project. I'm using a 4.5mm hook, which is giving me such a gorgeous gauge. And yeah, I'm excited to make some more progress. I will have lots more to share on this next week, I know. It's a really mindless project, which is exactly what I need right now. And I am really excited to launch this pattern. It'll come out on the last day of February, actually. February 28th is my planned release date for this. And I'm really excited about that. So I hope that you are looking forward to this pattern as well. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun designing it. And it's going so great. So great. Okay, so that is officially it for all of the making content this week. I do have a short little devotional that I would love to share with you guys, and then of course a life update. So let's go ahead and jump into that. So for a devotional this week, I was a little bit at a loss for a little bit because it's the week of Valentine's Day, so it's just kind of common to talk about love and, things like that, just at this time of this month specifically. But I myself don't have, like, a whole lot of, just experience or advice to put out there in this regard. I am not currently in a relationship, so Valentine's Day is kind of, a little bit bittersweet, just to be kind of vulnerable, if I can talk. Because of that. But all of that being said, I have been continually reminded this year specifically of God's love and how unconditional it is. And so I just want to be a source of encouragement. If you are not in a relationship and you want to be in the future, or maybe you wish you were now, or you were in a relationship and it's tough to be out of one, I understand completely, 100%, and the waiting season is really, really hard. But there's a lot of beautiful things to learn doing it, a lot of beautiful things that I am still learning myself. So I highly encourage you just to bask in the beauty of embracing God's love and chasing after it first. And then once you do find that person that you want to spend your life with and you encounter all of those emotions, you'll have such a better foundation on how to handle those. Just from a personal aspect and from a faith aspect of keeping God first. So I myself am really excited to, be in a relationship one day. It's something that I've dreamed of for a very, very long time now. But I am getting, I think, more and more ready spiritually as time goes by, because my foundation is stronger, and it's so important to have a strong foundation. So to take that, and then one of my favorite chapters in the Bible is 1 Corinthians 13. It's also called the love chapter. And it's basically just describing what love looks like as Christians, what love should look like for all people. And my favorite passage is 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 7. And I'm just going to read it straight from the Bible. This is the NIV version if you are curious. Of course, it's beautiful in all versions of the Bible, but this is just the one that I reference the most. And it's also well worn, so don't judge that. But So starting in verse 4, again, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, it says, "Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices in the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres." And I think that that is the foundation that I want to have in my life as a whole. How I love myself, how I take care of myself, how I love others around me, how I love my family, how I love, friends, extended family, relationships I have outside of family, and then all people in general. This is what I want to refer back to. So I encourage you to give 1 Corinthians 13 a read through this week in particular, but of course, it's important every single day of the year, in my opinion. And I hope that you have had a good Valentine's Day if you choose to celebrate, a good Valentine's Day week, whatever that may mean for you. But most importantly, I hope you know how much God loves you so, so much, and that no matter what happens in this world, that will never change. And there is just so much peace and excitement and joy that can come from knowing and understanding and believing and living that truth. And that's exactly what I want to do with my life and everything that'll happen throughout the rest of it, for sure. So, all of that said, in terms of a life update, like I said, it's been a good week. It hasn't been a bad week. It hasn't been the best week either. It kind of got off to a little bit of a rough start with school. I spent hours and hours and hours on this one assignment. Extremely stressful, and then I finished it, tried to submit it, and then couldn't submit it, and I didn't understand why. Emailed back and forth with my professor and realized I was on a time restraint, or time, whatever the other word is. I was held to a certain time. I was supposed to submit it within a certain time after starting it. It was like this link that you press. Apparently there's like an imaginary countdown that happens when you press this link, and then you can't submit it with the same link after like 3 hours or something. And I didn't know that. So luckily I can still receive partial credit, but that is just such a bummer because it is like not like me at all to do something. Usually I'm very well aware of times and things like that, and I just completely missed that whole, wherever that information was, I did not see it. So it's just kind of a, hazard of virtual learning. It's just going to happen. You're going to miss something, and there's grace in that, and luckily it shouldn't affect my grade too much, which I am extremely grateful for. But yeah, it's a bummer. I'm very grateful to be done with that section of the course, though. Let me just tell you that. Excel, I love it. Like, I really am learning it, but oh my goodness, that way of learning it is not for me, and it's not enjoyable in any way, shape, or form. But it still has a purpose, and it's important to realize that purpose too. Aside from that, like I mentioned, I didn't have a ton of time to get a whole bunch of making done. I did take the majority of the day yesterday, so Saturday, to work on the sample crochet project and kind of plan some content for this week and moving forward. And it was so good to just kind of take a step back and relax a little bit yesterday. I was definitely needing it. It's just a very busy season of life, so it's really important to realize, when you need those days of rest, and to take them and to, use them as responsibly as you can, but also to take them is a really big step for me in particular, I am realizing. But other than that, it's been a pretty good week. I hope to have a great week this next week, and I hope that you are having an amazing week. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this podcast. Let me know what you are working on in the comments below. I love hearing what you are currently working on. It is so much fun to read through and respond to those comments, so definitely let me know. Also, another thing I wanted to mention over at the end of the podcast here, if you have any small shops yourself, any yarn that you are trying to sell, any stitch markers, bags, anything like that you would like me to share and try to promote and just enjoy and share with my community over here, I would love to do that. So definitely reach out over to my email address. It is linked in the description box below, and I would love to just converse with you about that and share your beautiful projects. I think there is so much beauty and sharing each other's talents and gifts with the entire community. And I think once you have a lot of people doing that, it can be more successful, which is of course very exciting. So definitely reach out if that would be something that you're interested in. But other than that, I hope that you have an absolutely amazing week full of so much making. And until next time, happy making. Bye.